Hello everyone, I'm John Davis, Community Relations Director with the Oxford Park Commission. To my left, a good friend of mine who's been on several of our videos, Brian Fisher.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Brian. I know that you have been busy. Your summer's very busy.
Summer is busy. Summer's the busy season at our house.
Summer's a busy season for Brian. Brian is back to talk about OPC Co-Ed Lacrosse. We started registration. It's coming up in October and also a couple Sundays in November. Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody that's done lacrosse with us, we do have them on Sunday afternoons. They're perfect in the fall. As good as the spring is, I really like the fall.
Fall is great. Fall is awesome. It's not too hot.
Not too hot.
Not too cold. And it's a good time to come out, have fun, play some games, learn some lacrosse. If you're not playing football and you're a boy, great time to come out because you might be just running cross country or doing something else, or you might be ready to learn something new. So it's a good time for you to come out.
Well, we were going to build, we do fall and spring around here. Brian is the lead instructor. Talk about the success of spring. I thought that was a really good session, a lot of good participants, some new ones, but some veterans as well.
Yep, spring was awesome. It was the first time, we've been doing this 2 years, 2.5 years now. It was the first time where we really got to follow the script, where the kids, developed some skills, could scoop, could catch and throw a little bit. And we really got into our rhythm of clinical or practice for the first half of the period. And then we'd play small-sided games for the second half of the period. So the kids would learn to work with each other, learn each other's names.
And they could build off the fundamentals they had learned and show that they were successful with them.
Yes. Yes.
And that's something that I try to talk to a lot of these different instructors. Of course, I go out and take pictures of all the different classes and events that we have. And it allows me to see that their kids are putting into the practice into a game situation, and they're smiling and they're enjoying it because they know they're having success off what you taught them.
Right. I mean, it's again, we're largely introductory, so scooping, catching, throwing, movement, spacing, learning to move quickly, learning to see the field while you're moving. And so we do that for the first half of our period, and then we go right into games. So everything we've done for the first half of the period, they get to put into practice for the second half.
All right, so you mentioned longevity. This is our 5th one to offer. You've done it for over 2 years. The lacrosse was brand new to Oxford, and it's still relatively new. But you notice how much they've kind of impacted them and picked it up and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the parents too.
And the parents, yeah, it's great for them because everybody can learn a little bit about what's going on in terms of lacrosse. As I always like to say, you learn a few skills, you learn how to play the game, but then when you see it on ESPN or you scroll past it
what's going on.
ESPN, you've got an idea about what's going on. So you can watch it with some knowledge and also be sort of awed by the things that, collegiate women and collegiate men can do when they're on a lacrosse field.
All right, I was going to ask you, as an instructor, how much different do you think, gaining-wise? I mean, you knew about lacrosse when you started, but how much different are you now after all these sessions? You feel like you're that much more developed as a coach and really know pinpoint things to teach them?
Yes, yes. And actually, you want to know the thing I'm better at? Better at with little kids.
He's better at little kids. Okay. Have you grown more patient?
I have grown more patient. I'd been a high school lacrosse coach before this. Okay. And I had never had 7-year-olds. Okay. Never seen a 7 or 8-year-old on the field. So my young kid game is much better now. It's much more patient. I get it. And that's why we spend a lot more time on skills.
But you have to when they're 7 and 8.
You have to. You
have to.
You've got to learn to do things before you can sort of play the larger field game. And add all the movement to it.
You're building such young guys, young girls are learning, and they can stick with the game longer.
They can stick with the game, and they can enjoy it faster. Okay. You get some skills, you can enjoy it faster. When you're learning anything, you're frustrated at first. You're like, I dropped it again, or I missed it. But as soon as you can learn to catch and throw and scoop and run with the ball and do those things, all of a sudden it's fun.
It's a light bulb. It really is. Well, all right, so he's Brian Fisher. I'm John Davis. Registration right now for Co-Ed Lacrosse, OxfordParkCommission.com. It's $75 cost, but if you've played with us, because that includes your stick, by the way, It's 45 if you're a
Right.
returner. So visit OxfordParkCommission.com. We're going to be starting all those first Sundays in October, and the registration deadline is approaching. We're right out a week now, so I think it's the 22nd for our deadline. OxfordParkCommission.com. Brian will be instructing you, and we'd love to see you out there on Sunday afternoons.
Please come join us.